Hello fashion lovers, welcome back to my channel. Today it is this ball gown. The one on the pink I made for a 1 year old. The one on the yellow that I'll be showing you how I made it is for 3-year-old baby girl. Alright. Now I use net and cotton for this dress. I used a softer net but not too soft. Now this is the fabric I use for the upper part and for the down part, the base of the down part. I use pure cotton. Okay, I've measured the length and I'm going for 10 because at the end I will be having about 8.5 left. And for the shoulder, the armhole depth, I went for 5.5. Okay, the chalk I'm using is actually yellow. You may not be saying it, but possibly when I cut it, you understand better. Okay, so my armhole depth I went for 5, and my shoulder, okay, I just cut straight. Now this child, the tummy, we are going for 23. The length, we are going for 23. The half length, we are going for 8.5. Okay, so this is it. I just cut it out. Now this is my armhole that I'm covering. I usually go for wider armhole for children, and when they are growing, they will keep wearing it for a longer time. Okay, so 5 inches for the armhole depth is very much okay. I've gotten the first. I'll fold again and get the back. Now you ask me how many yards of fabric did I use for this particular cotton. It is actually 1 yard. This I made a dress for her, a gown. The remaining I had to use it to sew for her child. Okay, so this is 1 yard. All right, this is 1 yard. So what I'm doing now is place it and fold. Now I added zip. At the back of this dress there will be zip, so I have to make provision for the zip. Okay, so I'll place it and make provision 1 inches for the zip allowance. Then I'll just trace it and cut. The difference between the front and the back is the zip allowance. For now, we have not done anything on the neck part of it. Okay, so I'm just getting our length and width and armhole curve first. Okay, so I've gotten all this. Trim it to be the same length and height. Take out these pieces here. So having done that, this is it. I will equally trim the side. Make sure it is even. Then open the back, and so I don't make mistake. Placing the front to be the back or the back to be the front. Okay, I always make sure I open it up. Now, having gotten to this extent, the next thing is for us to work on the neck part of this dress. Okay, I usually go for 2.5 or 2.75. The depth 2.75 as well, but for the back I go for 1 inches. Okay, these are children. They need to be properly covered. And there is how you widen the neck too much. It will not be sitting properly on the person's dress, on the person's body rather. So I've slanted my shoulder by ½ inches. This is the recurving of the front. Okay, I have to dip in the front. Good. This is it. It is done. So what next to do is for me to cut my net. Now this net is about 3 yards. I folded it as much as I can. Then I'm cutting 7 inches. Okay, 7 inches. I'll go for like 7 inches 2 times. Then I'll start cutting 6 inches. Okay, I need this step by step up to 10. Okay, I need it to be up to 10. All right, now I'm using 3 yards of net because of the child I'm making it for is not that grown. Okay, and the mother said, please, I love my child looking smart, so do not go and make it long so she'll keep wearing it. So we are working with the new length of the child. So 3 inches can go, 4, 5, between 1 year to 4 years, you can work with 3 to 5 inches or 6 inches net. At most 6 inches, or sorry, 6 yards. Okay, so I've done cutting of the 7. I've gone ahead to equally what I'm cutting now is 6 inches, because I want it to get to length 10, as in length, 10 pieces of this. I need it about 10 steps, to fill up. Okay, so that is why I reduced it by 2 inches, from 7 to 6. I just did 7 too, others are just 6 inches, to make it get to the steps I want it to be. Okay, remember when sewing this net, I will be folding it into 2. Okay, so that is why you need to cut it big. I think the length, all right, so 6 inches should be the smallest. This is the last cutting I'm going for. I'm done cutting, all right, so this is all of them, about 10. I got up to 10. Okay, I got up to 10. If you want it more fuller, keep cutting, all right. But one thing I would like to say, if you're making this kind of dress, your base, that it means where you'll be sewing this net on top should not be too thick. It should not be thick. If not, you'll be having a standing ovation dress. Okay, that is what I've noticed in the course. So I've made this particular dress up to 8 pieces. This particular dress, I've sewn it up to 8. So what I always do, the first time I had that issue, that is why I'm saying this, your base should be lighter. You can see this is pure cotton I'm using, all right. I've not used doll face on as my base because I do not want it to have a standing ovation, all right. So now I've done the cutting. This is the down part of it, and I'm going for 15, all right. The actual length of this dress, we are working with 23, 24. Okay, so I just placed my tape and indicated where the 24 is, and I'm cutting. Okay, now for the down part of this dress, you're to cut a line, not flay, a line, except you want those flay type, but the one I'm making is not flay, it is a line that you're to cut. So I've gotten the 4 folded into 4. I'll go ahead and cut it a line. I just cut it straight. Okay, I just cut it straight. I'll go ahead right now. Remember, they will equally be zip, so I have to make provision for the zip. The same zip I made provision for in the back. All right, so I just marked the tummy and connected it down. All right, that is the tummy that I marked now. Now, having it this way, I will equally open the back. The next thing is to curve. Your A-line cannot be this way and you leave it. You have to curve it. So I'm going ahead to curve it this way. Take out that slanty part. This is very much okay. This is very much okay. The next thing we need to do now is sewing. All right, now this is the front. Remember, the fabric itself is cotton, so I use the same fabric as lining. Because it is pure cotton. Okay, especially when it comes to children's wear, it has to be cotton. So I use the same fabric as lining, and I did the front. Now I have it about 2. I did the cotton 2. The back, I did the cotton 2. So the next thing right now is for us to, sew it. Like you see, the front is 2. I've placed it together. I'll sew around the neck, top stitch, our normal sewing. The same thing I'll do to the back. The back too is 2 inches, so it's about 4 pieces. Okay, and this is my belt. This is what I've done so far. I usually all my children's dresses that I make, I love adding belts, to help them in snatching their waist. Okay, so I've worked on the neck, only the neck. All right, next thing to do is for us to join the shoulders. That is what is next to do, and I will equally top stitch to give it a relaxing effect. So when you place it this way, you get your shoulder to shoulder. Each one is about 2. So you open it up and sew. The same thing here, you open it up this way. get this one, place them together, you open it up this way and sew straight. Okay, I will be attaching the belt here and equally on the other side. Okay, so let me run. Now I've done that. Okay, I've done that. This is what it looks like. I've equally turned the armhole and the upper part is ready. Okay, now the next thing is the down part. For me to start working on the neck, I have to join this A line, place it this way. Only the back that will have opening, I'll sew here, okay, only the back that will have opening. Now I've sewn the back, this is it. Oh, the back, sorry, I've sewn the two sides, this is where I sewed, here too, only the back, the center back that has opening. You see how it is? One. The next thing, we'll start working on the net. For the net, you bring it and fold it into two. Then you sew on it, but you have to do biasing. Sorry, you have to do gathers on the net, and I've done gathers on it. You see, I did gathers on the net, so I will be putting it this way and be sewing. This is how I'll keep placing it. Now, this is all the gathers. All of them. I did gathers on all of them, about 10 pieces of them. So I'll keep placing them. All right, I will be sewing at the center of the net. The center of the net, that is where I will be sewing. The center of the net. Okay, now this is what I've sewn so far. The center, that is where I'm sewing. If you watch this, I left the down part because of the finishing. Okay, but you see where I'm sewing here, that is where I'm sewing. Open the other part, the center. You place it on top, you sew on the center. It is very important. That is the kind of steps I'm working with. Now I've sewn it all. This is how it looks, all of it. Okay, and this is how it looks. It is very important that when making this kind of your dress, that the base is light. That way you do not have a standing ovation dress. You know, there are some that will be too standing. Now the next thing is to join the upper part of this dress to the down part. Remember, the upper part is two, so sew only the front part to the fabric which I've sewn. You see, I still left the inner or the lining. I sewed only the upper part. You see, this is how it looks. It is giving me what is on the picture already. Next thing, I'll use my lining. All right, I'll use lining too. Now I have to measure the length of my lining. All right, the lining must not get to the end of the fabric because we want it balloon. So about 10 inches is okay, but this particular lining is too small, so I'll get another lining. I've gotten this one is very much okay. This is length 10. Okay, I measured it length 10. It cannot be the same length with the fabric, the down part, because we have to do balloon. All right, you know, shorten it. Now where to sew? Start from the down part. All right, shift the net and sew. Shift the net. If there's any, let me just trim out this excess. You're to shift the net and sew. You're not sewing on the net on the down part. You are shifting the net. Okay, I've done all the trimming. So you shift it this way, place your net, your lining and sew. I've sewn it. Okay, I have sewn it. But in order to have a better ball gown, okay, balloon, to give me that full balloon, I will be sewing elastic, this tiny elastic down. Your sewing should not exceed the sewing line of the sewing thread. Now this is what it did to the down of the dress. It gave it that balloon effect. You see what it did? Whenever I'm sewing balloon, I usually do this, you know, let it use a hand to, you know, come in together. Next thing is to join it to this part, lining here to here, here to here. All right, I've done it. This is the finishing. Okay, I do not have yellow lining I would have used, so this is how it is. I've not done anything on the zig part, but this is, it's giving me what is on the picture already. Okay, this is very easy. All right, this is how it looks. So guys, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe. If you have any question, feel free to drop it on the comment section. I've gone ahead to fix my zip, joined it together. This is the back. This is how it looks. Okay, let's turn the front so you get to see it more. Now, looking at it, to me it is too plain. That was not the agreement. Okay, it is too plain, so I'll have to look for a more embellishment to be done on it. Okay, though I did not discuss it with the client to put any embellishment. No, she just said the yellow. We did not discuss embellishment, but I'm somebody that I sew children's wear often, so I love designing it. So I'm thinking of putting it this rose. This is already made a rose. Okay, I don't know. No, either I put this tiny ones on the waist. Okay, just this way, scatter them. All right, or I can get a bigger one and put here. What do you think, guys? Okay, this one, do I leave it this way or this way? This is beautiful, but because children have had issue with, wherever you put something, they just take it off immediately. Children usually take this thing off, so I think what I'll do is just put it go with the down one. Okay, I think is what I'll do. They usually remove this thing, all right, especially those little ones between 3 years downwards. Some of them do remove some, but I think I'll go with this one. Okay, to me this one is better off. Remember to subscribe, guys.